Hey guys, we are live with Chew on This. Today it's a special episode, a special meeting, and instead of my friend Anna, who we typically do our weekly shows with, I have a lovely new friend, Adriana, and she is the expert that every founder, every ambitious executive needs to really help them stay sane and achieve success in the long term. And Adriana, welcome to the show, and I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you so much, Vlada. Yeah, and thank you for that lovely introduction. I am really passionate about supporting innovators, bringing their ideas to life, and helping them succeed in doing that through their own self-care.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I wanted to start off by sharing my own story or journey with um, breathing and meditation and just mindset in general. And before I became a founder, I built a successful corporate career. And I don't think I sort of was pushing my limits maybe just as much as a founder, if you will. And when I started my company, every day, right, you're on this constant roller coaster. And the craziest part is sometimes it's multiple times a day, right? Your competitor just raised a massive round. You're like, oh my God, everything is dead, right? I'm never going to make it. And then the next moment is like, oh, I just won this, huge customer. Yes, we're winning, right? And so you go through this crazy emotional roller coaster that it's just so hard to stomach for any human. And certainly I remember my very first mentorship program that I joined as a first time founder had this whole first module about sort of mindset and energy and all of those things. And I was like, gosh, did I just pay all this money to learn about this? Like, where's the real stuff, the stuff that's going to help me grow? I want, give me playbooks, strategies, but
The real
boy,
stuff.
the real stuff, right? But boy, was I wrong, right? And just having gone through the journey, actually, if you don't get this part right, no playbook of other real stuff will actually help you, because you need to be, and I came out recently with this term as a not chief executive officer but chief energy officer, right? Everyone is plugged into your energy, and so you have to then be the source of that energy. And that means that you have to be really expert at managing your own. So today is an amazing topic, Adriana. And I maybe wanted to start from a little bit of your journey to this. And what do
Totally.
you see most founders get wrong, or entrepreneurs and high powered executives that you work with?
Absolutely. So, yeah, my journey really started in the tech industry, working as a community builder, supporting developers, global community of developers at Google developer groups. And that's where I understood, very early on in my career that it's almost hard to be in the tech world and not be constantly overwhelmed, regardless of what your position actually is. But then working more and more with developers and then later founders at the Cello Foundation, I was also supporting developers and builders there, and I built a wellness curriculum for their accelerator program because along my own personal journey, I noticed that I too was getting burned out, even as a global program manager. And everyone that I was talking to, it was almost glorified to be constantly busy, to try to get as much done as possible. And meanwhile, our quality of life was going down, whether people wanted to admit that or not, whether it was their physical health, their mental health, and even relationships. It was hard to sit at a table with people and have lunch without folks constantly going on their phones, and it became a normal thing. And it's like, are we becoming robots or what? And so through my own personal journey, I was having some health issues. Mentally, I was feeling a sense of hopelessness, burnt out, stomach issues, and that led me on my own personal journey of exploring more of the alternative healing modalities, everything from Reiki energy work to also more of the traditional psychotherapies such as trauma-based EMDR and parts work and that sort of thing. And along the way, what I found is I was gravitating towards specific types of modalities, namely yoga, of course, but specifically Kundalini yoga was really interesting to me. I would do a session and then afterwards I would feel transformed. Sound healing, which, I'm here in the California Bay Area, so there's a lot more of these type of, I would say, woo-woo or kind of out there modalities to explore, which is beautiful. And I would do a sound healing session. I was exploring that and I would feel really different, right? And then also dance ceremony, which, one would ask, what is that? But it's essentially using ceremony and earth-based wisdom as a way to create a container to work with dance as medicine, movement as medicine. And I wanted to understand, why were those modalities, why was I going back to those over and over again? And I realized that throughout my entire journey, sound, breath, and movement are the three things that when we connect to them, we connect back to our bodies. Because ultimately what was happening was my energy was all out here. And I love what you're saying, Vlada, about the chief energy officer. Where is your energy? And of all the different modalities I've tried, it all comes down to where your attention goes, your energy follows. And we're more than just our physical body, right? Because how can you can't be a good founder if you don't have energy that is your imagination, imagining what you're building. You're literally building the future. It starts in your mind. And then through your dedication, your focus, your attention, you start bringing it into the physical world. And all of a sudden you have a team. All of a sudden you have an idea that everyone's getting around and bringing money to you as investors. And now you're building something and it becomes physical. So there is this journey and arc from energy as an idea, a concept, a thought, into something that's creative. I mean, we see this with artists, right? With painters, musicians. You're in a flow. So I think it's really important. The bottom line is understanding that where your attention goes, your energy flows. And I think you were saying, what are some of the things where founders get hung up? It's this idea that you have to constantly go, go, go. And somehow that's going to bring you to the finish line. We are not finite in our energy, I mean, from a spiritual perspective, sure, we can say that we're all part of the one, energy, and we're infinite, but our bodies are going to deteriorate, as soon as we start growing, we start aging, where there's a finite amount of energy. So the importance is understanding, where's your attention going? Because if you're constantly worrying and putting your attention there, you're starting to fuel that reality, and that energy is not present in your body to what are the things you can do right now, right, to support your business, to support your team. So where's your energy going? And then taking pauses, taking breaks to bring your energy back into your body, into the present moment. And a great example of this, is a martial artist. Martial arts, you have to be in your body, present. A great martial artist is not thinking about, what they had for lunch yesterday or where they're going. They don't have the luxury to be worried, because they need to be able to attend to and react to whatever is around them in that moment. And that's how you, win over your opponent, right? So I think if founders start to think of themselves as these martial artists that are in this world that's constantly calling for their attention, they have something so special, right? That's what founders are here to do. They're here to bring there are innovators or visionaries to bring new ideas to life on the planet. So the more that you can own that and say, I have something that's really important, my energy is valuable, I'm going to care for that and make choices that allow me to stay in my body and present, so that I can be the chief energy officer and hold that energy for the team. And I'm, kind of like a family, we're moving together. That is so important.
Beautifully said, Adriana. And I was just having this realization that, we are live streaming on LinkedIn, which is a professional network. And I'm so glad that we are bringing this topic, right? Because a lot of founders, right, there is this image of being, hey, I'm superhuman, right? I can do everything. I can sleep 3-4 hours and fundraise and sell and support and build and all of it, right? But the reality is that, yes, startups are moving really fast, but at the same time, you cannot, have it run you over, right? Because if the moment that speed runs you over, then that's the end of game, right? And so many founders get burned. if they don't properly manage that. So I was
So
even
true.
envisioning, I'm curious if you guys are watching and um, you would maybe love. I was actually about to suggest a show for Adriana where she can actually come in and do 5 minutes maybe every morning, a live of breathing or something. That I think is something that, of course, there are so many solutions, so many apps now, but
Totally.
to do it. But it's so hard to build new habits, right? It's the hardest thing to do. And anyway,
Mm.
if folks vote, that would be a cool idea for you
Well,
to do.
you know what else is I want to add to that, Vlad? There are a lot of apps out there. And I think the challenge, especially for founders, I mean, for really everyone that's like in tech, but mainly founders, is that it's a very lonely journey, or it can be. And, you know, you're already doing 101 things. It's hard to prioritize your day. To then have an extra thing that you need to do to go on an app, or it's dinging to you that it's time to do your
Right.
meditation. It's so much better and it's more fun to do it in a community. And that's why you know, the programs that I offer for founders and startups, they're designed to be done in community with other founders on startup teams, where you're engaging in wellness activities as a community. And that strengthens also the bonds between the community as well. And it starts creating a culture of wellness where it's not something where, oh, I'm going to go hide in the corner for 5 minutes away from my desk to do, like, you know, my 5 minutes of mindfulness. It's something that we do as a community, because that self-care is also community care. And that's something that I would love to see more of in the community. I've been thinking about, you know, what would it look like for me to start leading a founder community of wellness. So if there are founders out there that are interested in that, I'm curious to know, like, what are the types of features that you would like in something like that, some sort of platform. It could even just start as like a chat group, but to go back to again and again, so you don't feel like you're on this wellness journey, which really is so integral to your business,
Right.
and to stay as a leader, that you're doing that on your own.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Adriana has a special present for us all today, and she promised to lead us through a breathing exercise, which I hope is
Yeah.
not too intense for LinkedIn, but we'll find out. I'm here
No.
with you. So tell me what the exercise is.
Yeah.
Tune in. Take this. How long is this exercise, Adriana?
Sure. I mean, I would say it's about 5 minutes or so.
5 minutes. All right, guys. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, this is just an opportunity to tune into your body, bringing your attention inwards. So, wherever you are, hopefully you're just seated at your computer or standing. I invite you to gently close your eyes. Of course, if you're doing anything where you can't be doing that right now, just listen in. But otherwise, I invite you to just gently close your eyes and begin tuning into your breath. Feeling the breath as it comes in through the nose, following it all the way down to the base of the spine. And as you bring more and more of your attention inwards, noticing what you're feeling with your body. So it could be your feet on the floor, the seat below you that's holding you, and wherever your body is touching the ground or the chair, breathing into that place of contact. Really feeling the support of the earth below you. And then imagining with your mind's eye the breath flowing into the body as it comes in through the nose and filling up all the way to the basin of the spine, filling up like a cup into the belly, the chest, and the throat. And then exhaling, drawing the belly in towards the spine to fully deflate. And with every breath, I invite you to breathe a little bit slower, a little bit deeper. And just noticing what it feels like for your breath to fully occupy your body. And then we're going to breathe in a count of 3 on an inhale. 1, 2, 3, and exhale for 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And continuing. 1, 2, 3. Exhaling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just beginning to notice how you're feeling softening all the places that you might be feeling some tension, and imagine that the breath is penetrating those parts of the body, filling up any space that was just created by the exhale. And if there's any thoughts or, anything that comes through your mind, just allowing it to pass through like water and bringing your awareness, your attention back to the breath. Inhaling for 3, exhaling for 5. And then as you continue doing this, imagine that your body is becoming heavier. And you can imagine that there are some roots that are traveling down from your feet and from the base of your spine into the earth, just like a tree. And notice how that allows the breath to even further slow and deepen. Relaxing the jaw, the neck, any area that has some tension. And then just a few more rounds of breath, inhaling for 3, exhaling for 5 at your own pace. And then after your next breath, gently opening up the eyes, coming back into the room. And I invite you to just notice what has shifted, if anything. How about you, Vlada?
I absolutely loved it. I kept having these images of a sunny day. I don't know, maybe because of this light.
Oh,
But
I love
yeah, it
that.
was very kind of joyful experience, actually. Yes, just feeling a lot of joy, but also feeling actually the space for new thoughts to come in. Which again, in this busyness, right, talking about attention, right, we get so busy with our to-do lists of never ending, and sort of creating that space to say, okay, what's important, kind of. And to me, that was the beautiful sun that I felt somewhere.
I love that so much. And I appreciate you, bringing up that really important point that when we create space, remove the clutter of the mind, that allows new ideas to come in. That's where we access our creativity, right? That's where we access solutions. That's the beauty of being an innovator and a founder, is that you have access to such beautiful, new ideas. So it's so important. It's a gift to everyone for founders to take care of themselves in this way. And, listen, like this is one example, right, is to sit down and breathe. But, I like to tell folks that anything that brings you joy, using your breath, your sound, movement, even if it's dancing, right, and you're doing it with awareness, keep that awareness, that attention piece is really the key. It can be a healing self-care practice for you. And that's really something that I would love all founders, anyone tuning in, to take away today is, what is one thing that you can do that makes you feel good? And can you commit to that even just for 3 minutes a day with your full awareness, because, you can even be running. Runners usually, like, I'm thinking about other things. You're listening to music. Okay, like you're not fully embodied, but you can go running with awareness. How does my breath feel in my body? And it can totally transform and be even more healing.
Yeah, that's beautiful, because a lot of times we stack up things, right? As we even do exercise, right? I have my exercise routine on one side, my podcast on the other side. I was like, how more overloaded can you get?
Right. The last thing you want is for a self-care practice to be yet something else on the to-do list, right? Ideally, it's something that's, ideally it's something that's underneath, like a foundation that's supporting everything. And so I think that if founders know, another key takeaway here is thinking about your energy as so valuable. Your energy and your attention is your most valuable resource. So the more you fuel that, I think founders will be really, I mean, I've been surprised the more that I've taken care of myself in this way, how much more energy I have to give to those to-do lists that just 2 weeks ago I thought were way too much to get done, in a day. It's your energy amplifies and your capacity grows.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys, if you're going through the exercise live with us, or if you're watching a replay, would be so fun to find out sort of what was the feeling you had. And I'm sure we can both comment back to you guys. And I'm curious, maybe Adriana, just to close it off, if there are any particular sort of, I understand there are many different breathing exercises, but are they built to achieve different outcomes? Is it how it works? Or
that's such a great question, but yes, actually. So in the world of yoga, also qigong, which I've been really getting into lately, just by the way, as an aside, I'm really excited about qigong, but different breaths will create different states in the body. So what we did, the inhaling for 3, exhaling for 5. So the exhale is longer than the inhale. That's a calming response. That allows the parasympathetic, the rest and digest aspect of the nervous system to come online. Most of us, like 80% of the time, we're constantly in fight or flight or sympathetic mode. If you're feeling stressed and you're in your head, you're in sympathetic mode with the nervous system. So it's always a good idea. Most people are going to need the calming response. Now, that being said, if you need some more energy and you're feeling a little lethargic in the middle of the day, instead of a cup of coffee, or in addition to, you can do a fire breath, which is sharp exhales through the nose. And so you're pumping the navel on an exhale, and that's a fire breathing technique that is just literally stoke the fire of the belly. That will bring you more of that yang power energy, that solar energy actually that you were speaking to. Oftentimes in the yogic tradition, the sun is an example of the yang energy, that more outward fire. And so that's another option. So there's definitely so many different types of breath, and I invite people, if they're interested, breath is such a powerful world to explore and to find the breath that you need. Even the alternate nostril breathing, actually inhaling through one side, blocking off the other nostril and exhaling out the opposite, and then inhaling wherever you just exhaled. This is a really great balancer that I like to do every day, actually, because it balances the right and left hemispheres and brings you to a place of center. So playing with how the ratio of inhaling to exhaling, if you're doing alternate nostril, breathing from the belly, these are all kind of different levers of the body that you can pull to impact your experience. So I guess there's so much there, and maybe we'll have to unpack it in a different, in a new podcast.
Whole day to go through that. But Adriana, that was such a magical gift to all the founders. I don't scroll through, rewatch it. It's such an amazing exercise, and the tips you've given are great. They really are effectively an ammunition, right? The same way we're saying, let me go get a coffee or I need a snack, right? Those simple breathing techniques should be everyone's ammunition to say, oh, let me go and do this breath or that breath. And it takes you pretty much as long as, and it's so fast. There are no downsides to that of any kind, right? Unlike coffee or snacks or whatever else you might be eating.
Well, it's so funny that you say that as a munition, because, in the Kundalini tradition and Qigong, there's literally different practices for those that, historically were in the army, for soldiers, for warriors. They were literally using this to stay sharp and to be able to, fight against their enemy and win. So these are definitely not like, just throw away exercises like, oh, that doesn't do anything. Like, there's definitely definitely science to back this up. There's numerous sources out there. If you're someone who kind of needs that hard data to be able to be willing to experience something like this. But yeah, absolutely. It's definitely great to have all of this in your arsenal as a creator, as a founder.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Adriana. Thank you guys for joining us to chew on this. Today we did breathe on this, not chew on this. We were
Chewing on breathing.
chewing on breathing, exactly. Or breathing instead of chewing. It was so fun, so useful, and I hope if you guys are skeptics, you will pick up some very useful techniques, and please reach out to Adriana. It's been a real pleasure to have you. And if you're interested in more techniques and just more reflections of this kind, would be great to know, and share your feedback with us. Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Have a lovely Thursday, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.